The most destructive ingredient in your diet that is linked to obesity. Now, this may surprise you, so stick with me. Most people would say the silent killer in your kitchen is sugar. And experts have blamed the obesity epidemic and chronic disease on sugar for decades. But I'm going to show you why it's not the worst thing. It is relatively minor compared to vegetable and seed oils, and I'll show you the science. Consumption of seed oils has increased from 1% of our total calories to now 25% of the calories you take in. And if you happen to be eating processed food, which I know you guys aren't, but some people are, 21% of that processed food is sugar. 50% or more of the calories from processed food comes from these seed oils. Let's look at what the studies show. If you look at our sugar consumption here in orange, it's gradually increased over the years until 1997 when it actually started going down. But look at what's happened to our seed oils. They have continued to increase significantly and continue to go up, as do diabetes and obesity. I think the number one culprit in your diet is definitely these seed oils. Now, it all started off many years ago when you may have had Crisco in your cupboard, if you're old enough to have that. And then we started having the other seed oils and then margarine, all in the same family. That Crisco is actually crystallized cottonseed oil. They had all this cotton they were getting, and they didn't have anything to do with the seeds. And they discovered if they crushed the seeds, they could extract the oil from them and have a very cheap oil that was not healthy, that they could hydrogenate so it would last forever and sell it to you. If you ask me, which is worse, smoking or using these seeds and seed oils? I would say seed oils are worse. That's how bad it is. I want you to get the picture. Now, I'm going to give you a little basics, a little science. Stay with me on this. It's a little intricate, but not too bad. We've got saturated fat, which has no double bonds. That means it's pretty stable, and it will last a long time without going rancid. We've got monosaturated fats, which have one double bond, a little less stable. And then we've got these polyunsaturated fats that have multiple double bonds, so they're susceptible to going bad, going rancid, and they have to hydrogenate these products in order to make them last longer. So the fatty acids, we've got saturated fat, think of animal fat. Meat, butter, lard, that's saturated fat, pretty stable. Unsaturated fat, we got two categories. We got the monosaturated fat, that's called omega-9, a very good oil from olives and avocados, which I encourage you to eat. And then we have the polyunsaturated, which either are omega-3 or omega-6. Now, omega-3 is wonderful. You should be using it. Think of fish and nuts and omega-3 supplements, all in that category. And then we've got omega-6 fats, all of the vegetable and seed oils that you know of. And I want you to keep one thing in mind, and that is linoleic acid. Linoleic acid. I'll refer to it as LA. That is the culprit. That is what causes all of the problems. Now, omega-6 also has a conjugated linoleic acid, and it is okay. It's not a bad one. Linoleic acid, LA, from omega-6 is the thing you need to decrease. Now, omega-3 has some alpha linoleic acid. It's okay. And omega-6 has some CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. It's okay as well. The main culprit that we need to eliminate is that LA. So let's review what happens when you use omega-3 and omega-6. Again, omega-3, fish, supplements, nuts, decreases clotting, dilates arteries, is anti-inflammatory, decreases cancer, and enhances your immune system. How many of you want that? That's everything we want. Omega-6 is just the opposite. This LA increases clotting, constricts arteries, is inflammatory, increases cancer, and suppresses your immune system. Now here's what I want you to understand. A little bit of the omega-6 is okay, but we don't want too much. The ratio should be 2 of these for every 1 of these in our diet. You know what it is in America? 20 of these to every 1 of these in our diet, and that's the problem. Your body tissues are made mostly of saturated fat and monosaturated fats. So your body requires a lot more of them than the polyunsaturated fats. We just need a little bit of the omega-3 and omega-6. The most pernicious toxin in the modern diet and the fat you need to minimize the most is omega-6 fat, linoleic acid, and it is something I want to highly encourage you to cut out. Now in our next video, I'm going to dive into the science a little deeper and give you 7 reasons to dump vegetable and seed oils. And then in the following one, I'm going to show you what to do with fats, and making a few simple changes can dramatically improve your health. Make sure you hit the subscribe button in order to see the rest of this series.